I seen you waiting. I'm like, why keep you waiting? Um, I ain't sure what type of mood I'm going to be in reading this. It's sad. Hopefully it's educational. I'm gonna just be real. I've never heard of this until maybe 30 minutes ago, and everything I read, it hurt. Like this shit hurt bad. It hurt me because I'm looking at the picture of these dudes, and I know these people is from right here where I'm from, like my blocks, my neighborhoods, my areas, even though they old and they gone. This ain't no shit that happened way off in Chicago in the 50s or in California somewhere. You know, this some shit that happened down the street. They put a prison on top of this school. I was incarcerated in that prison. I'm gonna tell y'all. About the Holocaust in Wrightsville, Arkansas, and what they say really happened. Without any further ado, let's get to it. If I'm not paying too much attention to the screen, guys, because I gotta read this whole thing off this other phone over here. So y'all just bear with me. For the last 5 decades, every year has been 1959 for Frank Lawrence. For the majority of his life, Lawrence has been trying to solve one of Arkansas's greatest mysteries. No one ever knew it existed because of the ability of the state of Arkansas to do so much of a fantastic job to cover it up, said Lawrence. Y'all gotta, I'm not a public reader. I can read, so if the shit don't flow, y'all just work with me. March 5th, 1959, 69 African-American boys ages 13 to 17, including Lawrence's 15-year-old brother Lindsey Cross, was padlocked into their dormitory for the night at a Negro Boys Institutional School in Wrightsville. What's up with it? At 4 a.m., a fire mysteriously ignited, forcing the boys to fight and claw their way out of the burning building. Now, y'all think about it. They saying this is a school. This is a child prison. Our child prison now is in Alexander, Arkansas. These boys from 13 to 17 was incarcerated. Their crimes range from being homeless, being orphans, petty crimes. No major crimes. These were petty crimes. They were snatching black boys off the streets and locking their ass up. One boy in this school, also one of the boys that died, was incarcerated for riding a white boy's bike. And the white boy mom admitted to the police that he had permission. They locked his black ass up. He died in this fire that I'm telling y'all about. And he was one of the younger ones, not one of the older ones. At 4 a.m., a fire mysteriously ignited, forcing the boys to fight and claw their way out of the burning building. It's an event in history possibly forgotten or unknown by many, but it's that moment claimed the life of 21 boys. It was a carefully calculated murder that involved 21 boys, but was designated to kill 69. They were housed in this dormitory, said Lawrence. Lawrence has made it his life mission to uncover the truth surrounding what he calls Arkansas' secret Holocaust, which coincides with the focal point of Arthur Griffin Stockley's latest work. When the smoke cleared that March morning in 1959, the boys who burned to death were found piled on top of one another in the corner of the dormitory. The 48 who had survived managed to escape by prying off a mesh metal screen from 2 windows. Most of the boys that were killed had run back to the corner of the building. If you look at the diagram of the building, you can see that although there were a couple doors, in fact, we know there was no one there to unlock those doors. These doors had padlocks on them from the outside. If y'all wondering, that was not a normal thing. This is something that happened that night. It wasn't something they were doing every night. You don't lock 70 people in a damn cell, prison dormitory with a padlock on it. Why? Fire hazard. Now, I don't know. It might come up later on in this article. One thing I want y'all to notice is this boys' school, this kids' prison was segregated, meaning there were white kids there too. The black boys was housed in this building. They was locked in this building, and they were set on fire. The horrific events briefly made headlines that also brought attention to the squalor and deplorable conditions in which the boys lived. The conditions were to a point where 69 boys all had to go to bed at night in a space where barely big enough for them to move around. They are 1 foot apart from one another, and you had to get up at night and go to the bathroom. They had to defecate in buckets, said Lawrence. The boys went around in rags. They had 1 30-gallon water tank for them to take baths in, said Stockley. The boys in the school were committed for being orphaned, homeless, or committing offenses described as mischief and alleged petty crimes. The school and treatment of the children became a private representation of the segregation within the South during the Jim Crow era. A whole part of this is our history, the white supremacy, and the way African Americans have been discriminated against historically in Arkansas. It was never separate but equal. It was always unequal, said Stockman. Now, almost 60 years after the heroic fire, why can I not say that word? Heroic. Horrific fire. Both Lawrence and Stockley are writing books, hoping to spark a fresh look at the fire and its initial cause. The fact that it was such deteriorated condition, that's probably why the fire started, because of the wiring, said Stockley. I don't think so. It's easy to say that type of shit, but then you got to go back to why was them kids padlocked inside of that damn room from the outside? Why was there no adult guards guarding this building? See, if you had adult guards in there guarding the building, then you wouldn't have to be padlocking motherfuckers in the building. And as I'm pretty sure we could find out, I bet they're gonna throw some insult on top of this injury. You know, that's how they do it. Everyone was to conclude that it was an accident to prevent putting more embarrassment on the state of Arkansas or Oral Fathers. I guess that was like the governor some other time. Exactly. 2 years before the fire, Little Rock gained national attention in 1957 during a desegregation crisis. The governor, Oral Fathers, called the National Arkansas Guard to keep 9 black students from entering Little Rock's all-white Central High School. Faber's decision was overturned by President Dwight D. Eisenhower. In retaliation, Faber shut down Little Rock High Schools for the 1958-1959 school year, often referred to as the lost year. Never heard that. I'm from right here. I never knew that Little Rock whole school system shut down for a year because they didn't want to educate Negroes. And this is totally unrelated, but y'all, I also found out in my state of Arkansas, we have a whole damn town named Negro Head Corner. Negro Head Corner. Say this town got its name by a big wooden statue of a Negro's head that was at the corner of a big ass farm property on the land. My question is, what the hell did y'all call it before that? I think we should go back to that name. Unless it was kill a nigga keep running or something. But goddamn, Arkansas, y'all just disappoint me, but I love you, but goddamn. It's a love-hate relationship today. Lawrence believes the events leading up to the lost year added fuel to the Wrightsville school flames. This Holocaust and this murder is a seminal event that has changed the design. That has been designed to trigger an action by the African American community to say, oh no, we are not going to try to integrate schools anymore. They're going to try to be separate but equal. But we are going to stop this desegregation activity, said Lawrence. Prior to the fire, the governor toured the Wrightsville school and saw firsthand that the conditions in which the boys lived, but made no recommendations for change. However, a newspaper article reported that fathers appeared disturbed by the death of the 21 boys, calling the fire inexcusable. The governor immediately called for a hearing to determine who may be responsible for the deaths of the children. The science of preserving the crime scene was in existence in 1959, yet the very morning these boys were killed, they were dismantling this whole scene with hoses, rakes, and shovels. They were tearing it apart like they were trying to cover up something, said Lawrence. The school staff and superintendent of Little Rock Gaines all gave their accounts of what happened that night of the fire, noting that the boys had been locked and left unsupervised for the night. Conversely, the Pulaski County grand jury found that numerous individuals and agencies were responsible, but ultimately they returned no criminal charges. Unfortunately, it's just like blaming everybody and nobody. In the meantime, in an ironic twist, the land in which the school stood is now Arkansas Department of Correctional Facilities, Wrightsville. Now, let me finish reading this little part. Facility Wrightsville unit where you won't find a plaque to indicate the boys ever lived there or died there. Now, one thing I will say is, in 2018, they actually did change that. And it's a monument in that prison for them boys. I, being just who I am, told y'all a minute ago that their school was on top of their prison. I mean, their prison was on top of their school. I didn't know that for a fact. I promise you, I can show you in this phone where I actually Googled that and couldn't find it. Because I know how they operate. I know how they work. I know how that shit works. Just like I told y'all, it's a landfill over here. And I'm pretty sure that that's where all the damn bodies from the Civil War is at. Because they like to put shit on top of shit to make you forget about the other shit. You put a prison on top of a grown-up prison on top of an old boys prison where y'all killed all the boys, and there's so much shit happening in the prison, and you talk about the prison so much that we never even knew about the goddamn other prison that was up under that bitch. The one you burned down and raked over and water hole down and all that shit after you killed the 21 little boys. But let's get back to it. The same omission exists if the supposed mass grave, which can be found at the Heavens Rest Cemetery in Little Rock. The boys were brought out here, and a mass grave was dug with 1 to 14 bodies were interned there. According to the cemetery records, hours after the fire, what little remained of the boys who died was taken to a local funeral home, and their body parts reportedly wrapped in newspaper. Most of the bodies were brought to the Debusion funeral home, which of course now no longer exists. And as far as how they were received, there's a lot of questionable stuff. The parents of the boys could just come in and pick out body parts a la carte, claiming they were their children. Several of the 21 boys were buried privately by their families The other 14 was supposedly buried in a mass grave. The brief burial and burial paid for by the state of Arkansas. Brief funeral and burial. After the cemetery was over, I can't read today. After the ceremony was over, the family members were ushered away from the cemetery and not allowed to view the intimate into the burial plot. So they never saw coffins going to the ground, said Lawrence. According to Webb, the cemetery's records indicate a bronze grave marker was purchased for the 14 boys a few months after their death, again by the state. However, she says she has never seen it, nor does she know where it is. So what is the truth surrounding the death and the burial of the Wrightsville boys? Lawrence and Stockley both hope their upcoming books will expose the perception that Arkansas apparently put little value on those boys' lives. You can exclude history just because it's disrespectful to a certain community, said Lawrence. We had to feel some pain at some point about these things and oppose the dismissing of that kind of academic exercise on our part of our pathetic history of race relations in Arkansas and the South. Let me read some of y'all comments real quick. Well, you got to realize it's 1959. So, not only was it done on purpose, it was covered up on purpose. Everybody who was involved, from firemen to police, was all in cahoots. You know damn well that they wasn't trying to investigate and find out what white man or white woman did this shit. It was a plot. It was a plan. It was executed. You locked them all in a building. You went and bought locks to lock motherfuckers in the building. And then you left. You came back, set the building on fire, and left again. And the only reason these boys is alive because they broke their damn self out. That's just, you know what I'm saying? The Claims Commission ruled in September 1959 to award the states of each of the 21 boys $2,500. But Lawrence says his family only received $1,400. In the meantime, the hopes one day to gain the right to exhume his brother's remains and bury them in his family's burial plot in Hensley, Arkansas. The Lawrence book, Locked In and Burned, America's Secret Holocaust, which is set to come out later this year, hopes to further explore the circumstances surrounding the fire. Additionally, he dives into why he believes Governor Faubus and Little Rock businessman Dr. T.J. Rainey directly benefited from the immediate sale of the land on which the boys' school once stood. If you look at my research to uncover the circumstances around the players involved, starting with the governor and T.J. Rainey and other segregationists, it would be easy to conclude that it wasn't one of the 5 excuses they elevated, like possible lighting, possible arson, possible wood stove, possible faulty wiring. Rainey and others conspired to kill those kids so they could take ownership of all that acreage so they could flip it and build an all-white boys' school in Boyle Park. Stockley's book, Black Boys Burning, plans to further explore how the deplorable conditions of the school possibly led to the deadly fire. His book is set to be released in the fall of 2017. Like I said, I never heard of this until today. Born and raised in Arkansas, I never heard of it. I've been to that prison. That's the prison I came home and released from, Wrightsville. I've never heard none of this before. If you Google it, 21 boys burned in a school fire. They talking about it on YouTube. I'm not the only one. There's a couple articles. On my thumbnail, I believe that's the original article. I don't know, man. maybe no, can't say that. I was gonna say maybe it's a good thing that they didn't teach us about this shit when we was growing up. Cause I believe this one right here would enrage black kids. And the fact that they want to call it a school, they said it's in the school. Nigga, this was a prison. This is a damn kiddie prison. And if it wasn't a prison every day, it was damn sure a prison that night. Only place I know where you stick a bunch of damn men in a room and lock them in is a prison. We talking about in 1959 in Wrightsville, Arkansas, a boys' prison was segregated. They put all the black kids in one building, and then they set that motherfucker on fire. They put them in the building, they padlocked it, and the kids had to basically, with their hands, pull the bars and shit off them goddamn windows to save their life. And 21 of them didn't make it. 48 of them escaped. And then, they say that the next morning when the police got there, all they did was they spent their time fucking up the crime scene, raking it over with rakes, tearing down the building, hitting it with the water hose, just basically getting rid of any and all evidence. And they also talked about the fact that in 1959, law enforcement knew about preserving crime scenes and how to find evidence, so they knew what they were doing. They knew they were fucking up the crime scene, they knew they were fucking up the evidence on purpose. 7 of them boys got through 14 got through in a mass grave. 7 of them families got to identify them. But even the ones that got identified, their family was just picking out body parts. But think about it. Why? And it don't sound like solitary confinement. 69 people in one room is not solitary. Solitary is single. That's solitary. When you go in that room and there's one bed in there and only one person go in that cell and they lock their cell and you ain't got no human contact. This ain't even really solitary because you can talk to the motherfucker in that cell. You can reach over there and touch him. Solitary, you can't do that. It's a door instead of bars with a little bit of air window about this thin, about this tall. And then most of the time, the glass be like this. You can't see through it. It's just clear enough that they can look in there and see your ass in there moving around. But you come to your window and think you about to look out and no, ain't none of that. You ain't seeing shit until they open up that little flap where you get your tray at, your mail. That's how solitary confinement be. These boys, they was in a dorm. It was a dorm. When you put everybody in there, everybody sleep in the same damn building in the same room. Everybody's bed is like a studio where you can see everything. They was in one of them. And the motherfucker that had them housed in there locked them in with padlocks. You hear what I'm saying? The doors got locks on them. Every day. You can lock the door. They put padlocks on the door. Ain't no getting out of that. Getting out of it. You lock the fuck in. You know what I'm saying? You know what a padlock mean? That means they didn't plan on whoever could come and open the door being able to come and open the door. You get there with your key to open the door and say to these boys, and you realize, okay, I can unlock the door, but you can't open it. It got a padlock on it. Like when you done been evicted. You come home and the motherfucker put a padlock on your damn door. Yeah, you can unlock that motherfucker, but you can't open it, bitch. So you just think 13 to 17, they snatching bars off to live. They had to. Everybody didn't make it. I don't know if you ever smell burning flesh. It's some of the most, it's one of the worst smells in the world. If you ever smelled burning flesh, it's some of the worst smelling shit in the world. Burning hair stink. Ain't got nothing on flesh. It ain't got nothing on motherfucking human meat. Human meat don't smell like barbecue when you cooking it. I'm trying to tell you some real shit it don't. Not gonna tell you how I know that, but I just know that you burn a motherfucker, it don't smell like goddamn meat when you burning goddamn meat, some beef or some pork or some motherfucking chicken. Y'all know this not gonna be no 2 hour, 3 hour video, right? I really wasn't planning on making no video today, but then I seen that and I was like, this type of shit. I read a couple different articles on this. One article I seen explained which one of the boys that got buried. I need to find something real quick because it got some with their names in it. So I need to find that and I can read their names off. But let's see. It says something about the boy that got arrested for riding a bike. And I was looking to see if I could find that whole story. Okay, let me see something right here. This is a whole different article, but I'm going to read it. On March 5th, 1959, 21 black teenagers died in a building fire after being left alone and locked inside their dormitory in neglected and segregated reform school in Arkansas. The children were living at the Negro Boys Industrial School, NBIS, a juvenile work farm located just outside the predominantly black town of Wrightsville, Arkansas. Boys between the ages of 13 and 17, who were orphaned, homeless, and considered delinquent because of extremely minor crimes, were sent to live in NBIS. At the time, any action by a black person that threatened the racial hierarchy could be deemed criminal. One boy had been sent to NBIS for riding a white boy's bicycle, even though the white boy's mother told law enforcement the black boy had permission to ride the bike. Another black boy had been sent to NBIS for a Halloween prank, soap and windows. The disparities between the segregated white reform schools and black reform schools in Arkansas couldn't have been more evident. White institutions were predominantly geared towards education, treating white boys like students and teaching them vocational skills like carpentry and metalwork. Meanwhile, the black boys in NBIS were treated like prisoners and subjected to manual labor, forced to farm the land around the school. The black teenagers in NBIS were also forced to live in horrifically dangerous conditions. Even prior to this fire, one sociologist toured NBIS in 1956, 3 years before the deadly fire. He reported appalling conditions. Many boys go for days with only ragged clothes, he wrote. More than half of them wear neither socks nor underwear. It is not uncommon to see youths going for weeks without bathing or changing clothes. The water at the school was also considered undrinkable. The night of the fire at the NBIS, the boys' dormitory was completely abandoned by the staff members and was locked from the outside. It was each night making it possible for 21 of these black kids to escape. While 48 of the black teenagers in the dormitory that night managed to break their way out of the burning building by jumping out of windows, 21 teenagers remained trapped and burned to death. A committee investigated the fire, but no one was ever held responsible. Today, the Arkansas Department of Corrections runs an adult prison called Wrightsville Unit on the land where the NBIS was formerly located. The black people that only make up 15% of the population of Arkansas, they constitute 42% of the prison population, including 38% of the population in Wrightsville Unit. Let's see. I don't know. We're gonna get into nothing else that wasn't it. I'm still trying to see if I can find something that's gonna say these names. I don't want to do this video without saying these names. Alright, I think it's gonna be on this one. I just gotta find the part where it's at. What y'all got going? Alright, here we go. On April 21st, 2018, the monument was placed in Heaven Ridge Cemetery in Little Rock, where 14 of the 21 victims, those who could not be identified, had been buried in an unmarked mass grave. Those buried at the site were Lindsey Cross, age 14, Charles L. Thomas, 15, Frank Barnes, 15, R.D. Brown, 16, Jesse Carpenter Jr., 16, Joe Crittenden, 16, John Daniels, 16, Willie G. Horner, 16, Roy Chester Powell, 16, Cecil Preston, 17, Earl E. Thornton, 15, Johnny Tillison, 15, 16, Edward Tolston Jr., 15, Charleston White, 15. The 7 who had been identified and buried separately were Roy Hegwood, Willie Piggy, John Alfred George, Henry Daniels, Amos Geis, O.T. Meadows, and Willie Lee Williams. On April 25th, 2019, a monument to the dead was unveiled at Wrightsville Unit at the Arkansas Department of Corrections. That's sad because when I was reading this story, one of the first things that hit my mind was, I want to go to that monument. Thing is, from what I'm reading, the only way you're going to see that monument is to go to prison. I've been to that prison already. It wasn't there when I was there. I'm not going back. I think I need to start some shit, because we need a monument, a memorial that we can actually go to. You see what I'm saying? Right. I think we need a memorial that we can actually motherfucking go to. Somewhere we can go pay our respects. Because if you ask me, if people in the state don't know about this shit, it's pretty much been swept under the rug. Like I said, I've been here all my life. I ain't know nothing about it today. right. I promise I ain't no shit about it. I can't remember what I was doing. I was looking something up when I came up on it, and I forgot what it was. Something caught my attention. I started reading. I was like, "Whoa, hold on. I ain't never heard of this shit before." But I got a feeling it ain't going nowhere now. So I'm gonna need y'all and YouTube land run this video, man. Y'all share this video, get this information out there. Like, comment, subscribe. Anything else we need to talk about before I get off here? Let me give y'all a daily update of the life. Hold on. Oh yeah, I know about toe tech, man. So this morning I got a call from the job, and they were like, "Oh, girl asked me for some paperwork that I already submitted." So I told her I already submitted. I resubmitted the shit. She said it was all good. So they tell me to go look for rental cars and shit. You know what I'm saying? Go find out what kind of rental car I want. I'm like, I already know what kind of rental car I want. Maserati or something. You know what I'm saying? Drop top bed or something. You know what I'm saying? If I'm gonna rent something, I'm gonna rent something. I ain't gonna rent no Impala. Bitch, I got better shit than that in the driveway. You come on, get on camera. You ain't been on camera all day. So get on up there, let everybody see you. Um, what you love me or something? You love me or something? Anyway, she threw me out. What I was saying? Yeah, okay. So I did all that. I could look at the rental cars and shit, but I'm like, man, I'm anxious. Y'all know why I'm anxious. And none of that. And she was like, just hold on, your application ain't been approved yet. And I'm like, what? Yeah, man, we waiting on safety. I just sent them an email, so I'm just waiting on them to hit me back. She's like, look, I'm gonna have the information for you in the morning. Don't trip, because you can still come through next week. Look here, next week mean I'm gonna get my money a week later. And even though I got money and I got some more money coming, I want that money too, because I'm in the mood of 2024. I need all this money. And if it ain't mine, I'm gonna ask somebody for it. They might give it to me anyway. That's what we on right now. That's what we on right now. Give me all mine, and I'm not gonna take y'all shit. But if you let me finesse you out of it, talk you out of it, shit, that's what it is. One more thing, and let me tell on myself real quick. Point some shit out to y'all. Because I'm about to tell y'all not to take these shortcuts, not take this short road in the wrong road and all that shit. And I was thinking, I'm like, man, I be bullshitting, because even though I'm put the shit down now, I'm steady, you know what I'm saying, going around the system and taking these shortcuts and you know what I'm saying, with my drug test and shit. I understand that I need to pass my drug test. But at the same time, I am using shortcuts. And shit ain't been working out exactly how it should be. And that might be attributed to the shortcuts that I'm taking. Because sometimes you don't get caught, but you still not going to get what the fuck you supposed to be, or you think you supposed to be getting. But, man, I'm just showing it out there and keeping it real with you, because, like I say, that's what I be trying to do, is keep it 100. That's another reason why I'm trying my best to, when this shit gone, I'm done. The only problem is, I'm gonna get them bitches away. I ain't fit to try to chew all them motherfuckers or what I look like. Um, yeah, man. Just be holding myself accountable, man. You got to do better. Once you know better, you do better, man. So I'm trying to put the weed down. If not permanently, at least for a little while. Anyway, man, I got to. You know what I'm saying? Just so I can get my willpower back up and prove to myself that I'm stronger than that. At the end of the day, I'm stronger than that. Right. And I was telling, you know what I'm saying, my friend girl last night, I was like, look here, man, you got to understand, I was blessed to make it through this situation. If man, if they would have gave me the test at the hospital, it would fuck my whole life up. It would fuck my whole life up. And the thing is, the nigga ain't gonna keep getting them blessings. You see what I'm saying? You don't keep getting them motherfucking blessings. You gonna fuck around and I see it in the video the other day. I'm like, look, you can keep playing God you want to. And you gonna step back like, oh, you don't need me? Let's see you do it. Try it if you want to. Try it if you want to. Zena, what's up, man? You look jealous something, ain't you? Damn, she out here. I'm over here trying to text somebody. She looking at the phone like, oh, yeah. You be pushing nigga out the phone, hit your hand. She's a real hater, man. Anyway, we finna get ready to get up off of here, y'all. So I can get back in that jar. So, when it's time to go to Kentucky, I ain't got nothing to take with me. Now, even if I do, I'm not going to take it. Because I already said I wouldn't. But I think it'd be a whole lot easier if it wasn't nothing to take. You feel me? And I ain't trying to be loaded on the road tomorrow. That defeat the damn purpose. I might well go and smoke through the night, wake up, give me about 5, 6 some things in me, and go get me a rental car. Because we know things gonna work out for your boy. Right now, I feel like everything working out for me because everybody else can see it. And as long as I keep doing the right thing, I feel like things will keep working out for me so everybody else can see it. You know what I'm saying? Just like if I feel like if I was out here trying to do the wrong thing, and I'm getting on this camera in front of y'all every day saying bullshit, telling y'all lies, fucking shit up, the same people I'm sitting on here lying to will get to watch me get told the fuck down. I promise that's how it works. God will fix it where y'all get to see me eat all them lies I be telling y'all. Just like he'll fix it where you get to see me succeed and make something of myself and take care of my people and help folks and take the long road, not the wrong road, do things the long way, not the wrong way. And on that note, let me go and say it the right way so I can say everything I need to say. Don't be afraid to take the long road, say the wrong road. Do things the long way, say the wrong way. Find somebody to help, tell somebody you love them. You know I love y'all. Yeah. Say bye, Z.